Cosmic inflation, Physics 3030. This is Troy Elshaw. This is my final project. So let's talk about inflation. And I don't mean the inflation that is associated with how much a quart of milk costs or when gas goes up 30 cents overnight. I'm going to talk tonight about inflation that is associated with the Big Bang. We're going to use the term cosmic inflation for our talk tonight. In the very early moments of the universe, just after the Big Bang, something happened that made our universe what it is today. And that something is cosmic inflation. Now back in 1980, an astrophysicist named Alan Guth came up with cosmic inflation. And what this refers to is in the very early stages of the universe, just after the Big Bang, the universe grew at a very explosive rate. Now it only lasted a fraction of a second and grew in that short amount of time to the universe as we know it today. An example we can use is, let's say for example, that the size of the universe just after the Big Bang is the same as the tip of this pen right here. And this isn't a scale, this is just for an example. And it expanded exponentially in that brief span of time to its current size today. And it is still expanding, just at a slower pace. Another example we can use to help describe it is with this balloon that I have right here. If the universe was the size of the pen tip, this is what inflation did. It made it go from this to this in that fraction of a second. Now here's a thought for you. It took me much longer to blow up this balloon than it took for inflation to make the universe as big as it is today. Inflation happened a tiny second after the Big Bang. You would write a 0 and then a decimal point followed by about 35, 36 zeros. And it only lasted for another fraction of a second. And that number would have about 32 zeros in it. Another example that we can use is on this chart right here. If you look right here, you have the Big Bang. And you go up from the Big Bang to about 10, negative 35, 36 seconds and you have inflation. And then from inflation you can see how it grew from here to the size of our universe today. And later down the timeline, here's Earth. So you can see how in this, from right here, it went from this size to this size. Inflation also helps us solve some other problems with the universe, the flatness problem and the horizon problem. But those are topics for another day. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.